Hello, and welcome to our today's best practice series regarding apply element templates. So today we want to concentrate on the single elements, not the presentation, the slides, but the elements used on the slides during your creation process. And I would like to enhance your knowledge with some tips and tricks regarding possible best practices of how to insert and, of course, apply them to existing content. So let's have a look. Let me give you a quick introduction to elements. So in general, what I'm talking about are, for example, is a chart, is a table, is a text box, typical forms with its varieties, the icons, and of course the smart arts that can be used. Most slides consist of a combination of these elements, and yeah, we will have a look today on how we can most efficiently use them during our creation process. So my first recommendation, of course, will be use the template library of Empower. So what do I mean by this? In general, on the sidebar, as you see, you can directly access certain prepared templates in your template library. This could be presentations, slides, text elements, charts, tables, icons, pictures, and smart arts. So anything that you could use based on what you want to enable in the end to ensure. And these elements, yeah, can then directly be used during your presentation creation process by just double click on them in a certain area. So um, the typical use case is, well, or recommendation to work with placeholders. In this case, this is a content placeholder enabling you direct access by click to a certain predefined area within the Empower library. So if I would like to add, let's say, a chart, I can choose one predefined element and directly integrate it into an existing placeholder. Same thing, of course, for any kind of other variation that I might use in a certain prepared way, such as tables or the so-called um, text elements. Let's take a footnote, typical source information. Um, okay, to ensure that this works properly with the content placeholder, there's a little option that you find in your customizing section. So if I click on this, I can go to the settings area and just ensure you need so-called design admin rights to have access to this customizing section. And in the features area of the general settings, you find 6 options. These are the options for the icons within the placeholder. If you want to have the Empower feature coming up, you need to ensure that everything runs with Empower. If you want to have the built-in PowerPoint feature, where the native environment of PowerPoint pops up, you can use the built-in function. If you want to disable the button, just go for the deactivated option and everything will be fine and proper. So if you insert and apply elements just like I did, certain position can be used in an appropriate way. So for example, if you use placeholders, it gets directly integrated into placeholders. And you could, of course, apply this to existing content as well. So let's assume we have a third-party material, such like, let's take an empty slide, a prepared chart that you have created in Excel. So what I can do now is I just go to copy and go to my slide and I say paste. And then I can directly use the different options. Maybe it's linked or not. And I can apply a predefined chart for the existing content. There are different options. So the first option I want to give you is we're not using position and size. We are just using the format by itself. So if I press on apply, it will take over the format or the other definition of the other element and stay as it currently stays. My third recommendation would be, of course, that you use a predefined size and position of this element, which would eventually mean, for example, I'm using the same thing and I'm activating now the size and the position and I press on apply. And now the formation gets taken over and formatted to a predefined place and size. So I don't need to worry about anything. Same thing, of course, will work for all kind of other elements. So let's take, for example, the table as well. So I can just copy and paste it on my current slide. I decide, okay, you are a certain table with a certain look and feel, and I want to apply a certain position and size to it. And as you see, it directly adapts to the current pre-designed area, which looks pretty similar to what we have formatted earlier. If you have additional material, such as, let's assume, the source, which is a text element, I can just copy and paste it onto my slide, place it somewhere, it doesn't matter, and then I can decide, okay, I want you to be, for example, my footnote, and I can press on apply, and it will change the current look and feel of its position and its definition, and just be available right away. My fourth recommendation today is to use the Change Format Quick Access button. So what does it mean? Um, if I'm clicking on this button, I get an option, a drop down, which enables me any kind of placeholders on this layout that I'm currently using, typical above the line. There will be, okay, in this case, it's title. And if I'm clicking on it, it will directly integrate and adjust the content to a current look and feel on this slide. I can, of course, play around, especially if you are migrating slides or you're having multiple options. This is very useful because below the line you have a direct access to all the template library, the template um, within your current structure. So let's move it back to the footnote, and as you see, it directly takes over its old position as well. To ensure that this function is available, so you have that overlay window, you need to check your general settings. This is user base, so within the layout tools, there's a little setting wheel, and within here you can decide if you want to have the option, this overlay window, to be activated or not. And therefore, if I don't want to have it, I just deactivate it, then it's gone, and I use this sidebar. If I want to have it directly within my dialogues on the slide, I can apply the format to make it available for me. Okay, the good news is also our update session or the update functions would work on these single elements. So you can always have a look at the best practice regarding the updates. And yeah, for today, therefore, I would say thank you very much for your time. If you have any questions or feedback, let us know. Just contact us under empower@maidenoffice.com. We're looking forward to hear from you. Have a great day and goodbye.